So this question says a rocket is launched from a tower. The height of the rocket, y in feet, is related to the time after launch, x in seconds, by the given equation y is equal to negative 16x squared plus 121x plus 134. Identify the height from which the rocket is launched. Why does your answer make sense? When does the rocket hit the ground? All right, so one thing to note is that the given equation is in the standard form, and that's awesome. So the equation is in standard form. That's a good thing. So y is equal to negative 16 x squared plus 121x plus 134. And we know that the c term, which is just the number that stands by itself, that 134 is going to be the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 134, and this is going to be feet. This represents the starting height of the rocket. So that's the first part of what we want to do. Now, secondly, the question is asking us to say when does the rocket hit the ground, and why does our answer make sense? So since y represent the height of the rocket will be on the ground when height is equal to 0. So that's the first thing we need to establish, that the rocket will hit the ground when y equals 0. That's the same as height is 0. So for this particular equation, the numbers are so large, we know it's in standard form. The safest thing to do right now is to use the quadratic formula. And according to the quadratic formula, x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times our a term times our c term all over 2 times a. So going back to our original equation, a is equal to negative 16, b is equal to 121, and c is equal to 134. So our b term is 121, so that goes here, and that 121 is squared. Our a term is a negative 16, and our c term is 134, all over 2 times negative 16. So we want to simplify these. These are going to be large numbers. Don't get scared by large numbers. It's fine. Just make sure you're using a calculator to help you with this. So this is minus 121 plus or minus. When you square a number, it means you're multiplying it by itself. So 121 squared is going to give us 14,641. And negative 4 times 16 is going to give us negative 64. And when we multiply that by a negative times a negative, gives us a positive. So that's a positive 64. And positive 64 times 134 will give us a positive 8,500. 576 all over 2 times negative 16, that's negative 32. We want to simplify what's under the radical sign right now, so x is equal to a negative 121 plus or minus, when we add 14,641 to 8,576, that gives us 23,217 all over negative 32. We can leave our answer like this, but I want to push us a little bit. So we're going to find the square root of this large number. You don't have to do this in your brain. Use a calculator. So x is equal to negative 121 plus or minus the root of 23,217 is 152.4 raised to one decimal place. And that's going to be divided by negative 32. So we can split our answer. When the square root is positive, x is equal to negative 121 plus 152.4 divided by a negative 32. And when we do that, that gives us x is equal to negative 0.8 0.98, sorry. And when the square root is negative, x is equal to negative 121 minus 152.4 divided by negative 32, and that turns out to be 8.545. So the rocket will hit the ground when the time is positive, so there can only be one answer, which means it hits the ground at 8.545 seconds.